What's going on, people? Today we are chilling inside of the Jeep, and I got a quick little Jeep update for you guys, just to let you know that it is broken. Yeah, it was a funny little story. I was going on a 3-hour long trip, and it was like 300 miles. I was literally halfway between where I had left and where I was going, and all of a sudden I was doing like 70 miles an hour to pass the one on the highway, and I got in front of him, and all of a sudden it started to violently shake and vibrate, and I was like, uh-oh. So I honestly had no clue what the problem was. It wasn't death wobble, it was more like underneath, and there was a loud noise. So I was like, this can't be good. So I hop out the whip, and yeah, it was dope. So I hopped outside, and I went and I looked underneath the car, and I couldn't tell at first. And after I rolled underneath it on the side of the highway, you could see that the front drive shaft broke out of the transfer case. So that sucked. I had to then assess the rest of the damage and see what I can do from there. So it was an hour and a half away from where I was going and where I was coming from. And I was in like the middle of nowhere. Like literally there wasn't a town for another like half an hour. So I wasn't gonna walk it. So luckily I keep tools with me, so I pulled right across the street was a like a town plowing kind of thing. So I pulled over in this parking lot, went and got underneath the car, and had to take apart the front of the drive shaft. It was like 6 bolts, I believe. This happened a little while ago. So I had to take that off and then figure out a way to literally pull it out, because if you're doing it like the legit way and you're trying to change it, they recommend that you put it on jack stands and this and that and that and this, and I didn't have any of that. So I literally laid under there. I couldn't pull it off, so I rolled it over to a hill, got underneath it with all fours, and just kind of threw it off as hard as I could. I ended up getting it off eventually, but it was a little frustrating, a little worrying, because it was getting cold, it was getting dark, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? Because I literally could not drive it because of what had happened. It was just smashing around. There's a giant dent on my oil pan, and it could have been a lot worse than it actually was. But in 2 seconds I'm gonna get out and go underneath the car and show you guys the damage. So yeah, underneath the whip, and if you look, I'm on the opposite side where I should be, but I don't feel like crawling in against the curb. Transfer case is here, and if you look, that's where it should mount in. If you look right there, that's where it broke off. It goes into right there, and I had to take that off. It also smashed against the part of the exhaust, and over on this side, I don't really can't show you from this angle, but it also smashed against here when it was flopping around. I believe up here a little bit, like over in, oh, you really can't see my fingers over there. But yeah, so this could have come out a lot worse than it had, but right now I don't have 4-wheel drive. But yeah, so that's a quick update on the broken ass Jeep. Thank you all for watching, and so on.